Liberties are rarely taken within romance manga. The utilization of misdirection tropes are rare, while misunderstandings are the bread and butter of these stories. As such, it's understandable why some people feel a reluctance towards reading any sort of romance manga. That's how I felt for quite some years, but lately I've been turned on to a lot of what Shonen Jump Plus has been putting out, and one of the finest manga that I've read in quite some time just so happens to be a romance. Hope You're Happy Lemon is an incredible manga that everyone should be reading. Authored by Mizuki Kashikawa and running in the digital magazine since October of last year, Hope You're Happy Lemon is about Tsunao Akiyoshi, a dude reeling from his first serious heartbreak. His girlfriend during middle school, Lemon, ended up cheating on him with 3 different guys. After a few years of struggling with this trauma, he's able to move on and find interest in another girl, and with it comes something unexplainable. Tsunao and Lemon start swapping bodies, and it's through this unusual switch does the reader see that Lemon is still in love with Tsunao, and she more than likely did not cheat on him at all. With incredible art, a very engaging story, unique twists on tired tropes, Hope You're Happy Lemon is one of those mangas where you really gotta give it a chance. But when you do, you come to the realization that you've stumbled onto something very special. Hope You're Happy Lemon is a dialogue-heavy, quippy romance about university students dealing with this mysterious body-swapping phenomenon. Lemon, Tsunao, Natsumi, Suzuka, and Raika are all such exciting characters because they remind me of myself and my peers back when I was in college. And yeah, while the story is a little sweet and innocent, it still feels like a mature series with the way the characters speak, how they dress, the innuendo, and their desires for wanting to escalate their friendships and relationships. Despite all of my previous jokes, Hope You're Happy Lemon is not an NTR manga. And despite what some comments have said on my previous videos, on Twitter, and on Reddit, this is not a manga about justifying cheating and having to deal with it. Look, I'm no Lothario by any means, but I have been in different relationships before, and I have been deeply in love before. Maybe that's why I'm able to see what Lemon is going for instead of basing everything off of a vague mal description and whatever bullshit Chibi decided to tweet when the manga first came out. Kishikawa is really good at the slow reveal. In a flashback that opens chapter 18, Natsumi reflects on the first boy who asked her out and how she turned him down. In 10 pages, the reader learns how naive and reserved Natsumi was prior to uni, and how opinionated yet fair Lemon is when it comes to dishing out relationship advice. Women bond over gossiping, and in the hands of a lesser author, Lemon would have planted some weird seeds of dissent that would have sprouted at a convenient time in the manga for easy drama. Instead, Natsumi realizes that she can't just date a guy on false pretenses. While she didn't understand the reason for her old friend Hirata falling for her at the time, she later understands what he meant and feels a hint of regret for looking down on his feelings. The rest of the chapter leans on a misunderstanding trope, but it also does push along the plot even just a little bit. Kogahara likes Akiyoshi. Acknowledging the mutual affection between them solidifies the direction that the mangaka originally set out on. This is a series about a young man moving on from past relationship trauma to find love again. I've said this so many times, but I stand by it. Lemon is one of the most beautiful women that I've ever seen in a manga. My girl is a stunner on every single page that she's drawn on. The way she talks, the way she flicks her hair, how she dresses, the way she carries herself. Even when she's swapping with Tsunao on the body swap days, you still see that beauty, that sort of charm shine through even when she's hunched over or she has her legs spread out wide. If you're looking for an innocent best girl, it has to be Lemon. But one of the really interesting twists in this manga that I wasn't expecting was the introduction of a character who matches Lemon's energy and in some ways even surpasses it, all the while being distinctively different from her. Raika Asagi is an absolute bitch. I'm talking foul-mouthed, sassy, overly assertive bitchiness. And that's exactly what this story needs. Too often do modern series paint their female characters as overly complex, meek, and boss babe without actually being bossy. Not here though. Here, we have an obsessive yet perceptive psycho bitch that clues into our hero's current ordeal and takes it upon herself to save Lemon from what she thinks is an elaborate body swap blackmail plan. I don't like that Rika puts herself down so much in comparison to Lemon, but I do think this is by design. The halo effect is real, and in this manga, everyone can acknowledge that Lemon is a hottie. But Rika, Kogahara are both very beautiful young women. I think they have more stronger traits that make for a good partner than Lemon has. This reflects real life closely, where I've heard some baddies talk themselves down just because they have a mutual who's maybe conventionally hotter than them. But fuck that noise. Later chapters reveal more about Rika's personality and how capable she is of rational thought and actions when she's in a calm state of mind. We also find out about Rika's family life, where she delves into the ramifications of her cheating father and how that affair impacted her mother, while also helping her form her current views on love. The banter between Rika and Suzuka in chapter 23 is definitely one of the highlights of the year. Kishikawa is having a lot of fun with this character. The visuals of Lemon are great. You can tell the mangaka thinks about how these characters would be having this conversation IRL before putting pen to paper. The position of characters' hair varies throughout the course of a conversation. Bangs sway left and right as characters tilt their head, more so the longer-haired female leads than our smartly cut males. That's an attention to detail that is very noticeable and much appreciated. While nothing really stands out, the fashion does look good. These characters look like their age, they act like their age. While such a variance like this would come off as distracting, I think it's immersive. It makes rereading chapters a lot more exciting than other manga where you don't see that sort of panel-to-panel variation. But despite all of my love for Lemon, there have been some complaints. In my previous videos, I had some people come in and make some claims about Lemon that I don't really think holds a lot of weight, but they did bring up some good points, so I want to focus on those comments for a little bit before wrapping up this video. Litherin69 had this to say, "My problem is I can't fully invest in the story until they give us the reason why Lemon did what she did. The premise only works if she really felt she was doing what was best for him by lying. Concerning the lie, that's very unlikely. Love triangles are low-hanging fruit drama-wise." Look, I can agree with that, definitely, but it's very obvious that Lemon didn't cheat on Tsunao with 3 different guys. We don't know what actually happened, or maybe Lemon's perception of what did happen between those guys does count as cheating. Lemon feels that it's better to tell Tsunao this lie than whatever the truth actually is, but that's a good thing. It means that there's so much more for us to look forward to and some real drama to erupt between these characters. I like the fact that this is a quiet series. Everything really happens between a few characters and their drama is very low stakes, but we know that there's more to come. What happens if Lemon meets a guy that she likes more than Tsunao? What if Tsunao decides to get intimate with Kogahara? What if Suzuka and Rika hit it off? What if Suzuka actually wants to fuck Lemon? I'm not saying it's that sort of relationship. I'm not expecting a school days sort of twist here, but it's quite clear that this isn't an NTR manga. NTR angle was just a means to hook people, right? That's what manga does. But if you read even 10 chapters of Hope You're Happy Lemon, you see it's not about that at all. It's about figuring out why this body swap is happening, who's behind it, and if there is any reason for Tsunao to go back with Lemon. Quite frankly, I hope Tsunao doesn't go back to Lemon. I hope that he can find out what the truth was, but also understand that communication in relationships is very important. Just because someone says something or does something that you don't agree with doesn't mean you cover it up with a lie, because that does have a negative impact on those around you. And I think there's a lot that Kishikawa can cover with this sort of relationship. It is a really unique dynamic. I can't speak so much for what someone wants to put up with when they're in a relationship and cheating happens. But I do think that when it comes to a manga like this, it's definitely worth reading to see what actually went down. Lythrin had this to say on my other video. When one of the love interests broke up with MC by claiming to sleep with 3 other guys, best isn't the word that comes to mind. It's revealed to us that she lied, but we don't know why yet. The funny thing is, she wants him back, is actively trying to get closer, yet she hasn't informed him that she never cheated. Like, how the author expects us to believe the girl is so stupid is unimaginable. I don't think Lemon is stupid at all. In fact, I think Sunao is the really immature one in this series. He doesn't tell Kokohara how he actually feels. It took him forever to tell Raika to leave him the fuck alone. And while he does like Lemon, he should put his foot down and establish the fact that what they had in the past was the past. It's quite clear that Lemon is trying to get back in Sunao's good graces. Even if she didn't actually do something wrong towards him back in middle school, she still lied to him instead of telling him the truth. And years went by without her actually coming clean. So no, she doesn't deserve to get back with Sunao. But to say she's stupid, that's ridiculous. Especially seeing her emotional intelligence when it comes to her relationships or other people around her. Lemon isn't a hoe. She ain't a thought. She ain't fucking around with other dudes. And she hasn't had this problem with other dudes in the series, at least from what we've seen so far. Lemon is not a stupid character. We're reading a manga about how young people learn to deal with their emotions and how they learn to be truthful and forthcoming with one another. Something that I'm in my 30s and I go through this bullshit with girls all of the time. So many times you're dating someone and they don't want to tell you something because they're afraid it's going to push you away or you're going to get angry at them. I've been responsible of the same sort of crappy behavior too, but from what I'm seeing with Lemon, I think it's somewhat justifiable. At the very least, it's worth reading further to see what actually happened between them. For aspiring writers, I strongly recommend this series. For romance fans, you gotta put this on your to-read. Collectors? There's only 2 volumes right now, and the vibrant color posters that come with the limited edition copies make this a worthy addition to add to your pull list. Hope You're Happy Lemon is a strong, fun, smart, and dense manga that doesn't alienate casual fans, but provides enough for hardcore otaku to stop and take notice. One of the best shonens running right now. 9 out of 10.